It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
A couple of weeks ago, we launched our 2013 season catching big white bass on the first big spring spawning run of the season up creeks and rivers. On today's show, the great news is we bring you information on the second big spawning time for a species of fish in the Southwest. It's the pre-spawn time for largemouth and smallmouth bass. It is the single best time of the year when you have a great chance to catch lots and big bass the next few weekends. To help us do that, I'd like to welcome you into a lake that I've never actually seen before. This is Canyon Lake. It's located north of San Antonio, just west of New Braunfels, Texas. The lake has got lots of largemouth and smallmouth bass in it. We're going to check it out today and use it as our test tube to demonstrate techniques that can help you catch largemouth bass in the pre-spawn time coming up in the next couple of weekends. And while I'm doing that, we're taking you around the region for your latest fishing reports from your favorite creeks, rivers, lakes, and bays. We'll have lots of other news and information that you can use, hopefully to help you catch more fish on your very next fishing trip. So if you'll give me just a minute to get the Nitro Z8 launched down the boat ramp into Canyon Lake, we'll take you back to the FSN studios where Julie has your first look at the weekend planner.
Let's take a look at the Salooner tables to help plan your fishing trip for this weekend. Both days are listed as having the best conditions of the month, with peak times starting in the morning at 8:35 on Saturday and 9:30 on Sunday. Expect the sun to rise at 7:08 a.m. and set at 7:51 p.m. And we'll have a crescent moon that is 15% visible. Stay with us. We've got fishing updates from Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. Plus, I'll be back with your Ask the Pro question a little bit later with Bassmaster Elite Angler Terry Scroggins.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 11 years running. By Academy, right stuff, low price, every day. And by Tracker Boats, fish the finest.
All right, we got something to get it going here. All right, welcome aboard. We have made it onto Canyon Lake today. Put the boat in the water and caught us a skinny, torpedo-looking male largemouth bass. Okay, that's a good way to get it started. Back she goes. And let's talk about the pre-spawn. What is the pre-spawn? Well, it's that time of the year when the largemouth bass will instinctively push from deep water where they've spent the winter time, and they'll gradually migrate up into that transition zone, 10 to 15 feet of water, getting ready to move very shallow and spawn. The pre-spawn and the spawn are both dictated by water surface temperature. And I'm going to boil it down to its simplest form. 50s is pre-spawn, 60s spawning time. You can see that's the main lake out there in front of us. It's really deep, up to 125 feet deep. So they're going to move in off of that, push in up to these little rock points and rock banks in the mouths of the creeks and coves. We'll talk about where a little bit later, but that's the zone we're looking for, 58 to 62 degree water, and then once you hit those mid-60s, they're moving shallow to spawn. Let's get your fishing reports started off here, and let's go to Louisiana and check in first with Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana Fishing Report. I tell you what, for those that don't know, Captain Kevin and I, we just got back from Chalmette, Louisiana. Not only did we fish the Redfish Cup tournament, we also won the Redfish Cup tournament. Now I tell you what, a lot of people think that it's real easy. We got shallow water. We broke our Minn Kota trolling motor bracket that holds the trolling motor down to the boat. So what happened? Minn Kota overnight is a brand new trolling motor. We tried to get out with the big motor. We bent two of our propellers. What happened? Chris's Marine overnight us a new prop. The next day, first day of the tournament, tell you what, we have a talon on the back of our boat. One of our friends also has a talon. They lost their remote control. We lent him our remote control. We got in, he gave it back to us. Not knowing that he had hit the button and lowered our talon. When we tried to put it up on the trailer, we broke our talon pole. Thank goodness for a Minn Kota repair shop close by. They stayed after hours. They repaired our talon for us. Tell you what, we had a great tournament. And I tell you what, Captain Kevin's been on the water ever since we got back. Let's go check with him right now and see what he brought in today.
We went out on the water. We only fished 3 hours this morning. We got right at 40 trout, a couple of real nice reds. Tell you what, we had a great day on the water. We caught these on live shrimp. We were free lining and under a popping cork. But I tell you what, there's lots of birds working in the lake. There's big schools of redfish. It's starting to get into that late spring, early summertime pattern. You boys had a good time?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, y'all want to make a trip down here, the number's on the screen. Give us a call. We're going to keep updating you every week about what's going on all across the state. Tell you what, for Old Cajun Phil, this is Captain Kevin Broussard saying, see y'all next week.
Got it. Got it. Pull and drag. He's not very big. Here he comes. Straight down. Feisty largemouth. All right. There's one more Canyon Lake bass for you. That one hit a little lead head with a little finesse worm on the back of it. All kinds of ways to catch him in the spring and the pre-spawn. Back he goes. I am a huge fan of the Nitro Z8 that I fish out of. I make my living. I live in this boat a lot, and so things have got to be right in this boat. One of the things that is right is the rear deck and the rear storage. You can't believe the detail that goes in to the back end of this boat. You need to go to our YouTube channel. You get there from the front page of our website, click on the YouTube logo, go to our YouTube channel, click on the how-to section, and look up the Nitro Z8 rear deck features, and you won't believe some of the detail that's down underneath, out of sight, but very critical and very important in the Nitro Z8. Got him. There we go. There's your little canyon bass right there, a little springtime special. Hey, welcome aboard everybody. Fishing Canyon Lake today, and so far it's just been that. Catching the males. Females just aren't up here spawning right now, or at least they're spawning, maybe they're spawning out deeper, but anyway, we're having some fun catching a few bass. And I will tell you that if you're coming to Canyon Lake, this is my first experience here. You're going to be fishing rocks, rocks, and rocks. As you can see back here behind me, big old boulders, rock cliffs going off in the water. You've got pea gravel, rock points, every kind of rock you can possibly imagine. There's a little bit of timber left standing in the water, but that's about it. You're going to be fishing rocky structure, and you need fairly clear line if you're coming here. I would go with Stren fluorocast or 100% fluoro. I'll tell you that one other tip about the pre-spawn time of the year, and again, up in the northernmost parts of our region, the pre-spawn probably hasn't even hit yet or is just now starting to come on, but that's when the fish, the bass, are the most active. That's when they're feeding up instinctively, getting ready to move up there and spawn, and once they get on those nests and start laying those eggs and guarding the fry, they're not going to eat very much. So instinctively, they know to feed up as they're moving up on that pre-spawn time of the year, and that's the time when you can use your actively moving baits, and the bass will actually come up and chase down a lure, and we'll show you some of those a little bit later on. Again, it's going to get much slower, much more difficult to catch these fish when they're actually on the bed. Here's Brian Hughes in Texas.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Johnson's Collision Fiberglass Boat and RV Repair. Now we're going to start this week on little Lake Austin, which just gave up its 19th Sharalunker over the past few years. That makes it a must-fish destination on everybody's list. Now this fish came out of 10 feet of water next to the hydrilla on a Carolina rig, and hydrilla is the key. Find the grass and then fish over it with a weightless jerkbait, or fish in it with a big heavy jig and pig, or fish around the sides with a Texas rig and Carolina rig. Now over on Lake Ray Hubbard, Saturday, April 6th, they're going to have the Texas High School Bass Championships. This is open to all students across Texas. You need to check the website, texashighschoolbasschampionship.com, for the rules. Once they fish on Ray Hubbard, they're going to find spawning fish, but with high wind predictions for the weekend, you're going to want to fish in protected areas like the marinas or along the I-30 bridge. Weigh-in will be at 3 p.m. at Bass Pro, so either come out and fish with them or come out and support the Texas high school kids fishing in the championship. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Johnson's Fiberglass Collision Boat and RV Repair. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, water temperatures all on the Texas coast are at about 70 degrees. That's the mark when trout fishing gets really good. On Sabine, good trout action has come from off the Intercoastal and the North Levee Wall. Birds are working over bait at mid-lake. Along the Louisiana shoreline, anglers drifting shell flats have caught fish on soft plastics in 2 to 4 feet of water. The Galveston jetties continue to hold black drum, sheep's head, and redfish. Specks have been taken throughout the bay system along the grassy shorelines and shallow reefs on soft plastics and shrimps. Now, the Intercoastal Waterway out of Freeport is afforded protection from strong winds and has also given up some good specks. Fish the edges as well as the mouths to back lakes and bays. The reefs on the west end of East Matagorda and the grass beds and troughs behind the peninsula are holding trout and redfish. Topwater lures, soft plastics, and live bait have all scored. The land cut, as well as water 4 to 5 feet deep around Emmert's Hole, has given up solid trout on live shrimp or soft plastics under an Alameda rattling float. On the lower Laguna Madre, from Holly Beach to Airport Cove, has trout and reds hitting baits under a popping cork. And from the Convention Center to the gas wells, anglers have taken fish from the color line on a variety of baits. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Hey, don't forget about the brand new feature for 2013, the members only bonus video page on our website. It's where you'll get lots more information, including where we launched the boat, the exact locations where we fished on Canyon Lake and where we caught our fish. Just go to our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com, log in to become a member, join if you're not a member already, it's always free, then go to the members only page and then the members only bonus video, click on Canyon Lake.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Lubes, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. And by Whataburger, just like you like it.
There's something right here where he was supposed to be, staying down. That one hit a jerkbait. This is that Strike King KVD jerkbait. And we're about to get a look at him because this water is gin clear down here. It's really clear. There he is, smallmouth, smallmouth. Wow. All righty. Welcome back, everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report today, just north of San Antonio, Texas, at Canyon Lake. Never been here before. My very first trip here, first look at the lake. And talking about the pre-spawn, and what a gorgeous gold looking fish. I'm gonna let him go back. That fish is up there getting ready to spawn. Where do smallmouth, largemouth, spotted bass spawn? 2 real keys. #1, you want to find an access point, a place that's got deep water that comes into shallow. So look at a topographical map of your favorite lake, the lake you want to try to find pre-spawn bass on, and find the deep water. And then find an area where the deep water begins to run up to a shallow area. Secondly, you want to find a migration route, a place where the bass can come out of that real deep water where they've been all winter long, and as that water warms, they push up either a long skinny point that runs out towards deep water, the mouth of a major creek channel, even the mouth of a big bay or a big cove can work. But it's a place where they're going to come up and stage. They're going to be in that 10 to 12 foot range before they get ready to push up the creeks, the backs of the coves and get in that 2 foot water, make those nests and spawn. That fish was a little male. He's staged out here getting ready to go up that creek to make a nest and spawn. That's where you find them on your local lake. All right, let's move along right now and check with my friend up in Oklahoma. Here's Gary Dollar.
Hey, it's springtime in Oklahoma and fishing conditions are changing daily. While some parts of the state still have extremely low water, other areas, especially on the eastern side, have had recent runoff rains and their lakes are starting to come up. Now the paddlefish snaggers are starting to do really well above Grand Lake and Fort Gibson Lake in the usual areas. Now today I visited Oologah Dam, and below it a gentleman from Collinsville was having a good day snagging small spoonbills using the traditional gear of a large barbless treble hook, which is required by law, with a big sinker, making long casts, using pumping motions to drag that treble hook back across the bottom into a fish and having the fun of fighting that fish. He was releasing them all, having a fun day of fishing. Now, Gene Gilliland, the Assistant Chief of Fisheries for the state, tells me that biologists have had a good walleye spawn on Fort Supply Lake in the northwestern part of the state. And he said that in those nets, while they're catching for walleye to get the spawn, they've also seen a good number of large crappie. So Fort Supply Lake, put that one on your calendar. That's something to keep in mind for spring walleye and spring crappie. The lake seems to have a good population of both. Now, George Tolson and Tom Haynes had a good bass fishing outing on Hudson recently. They were fishing in a tournament. Their best 5 fish weighed 25.5. They won the tournament with that total. All of them less than 6 foot of water. All of them on either LaRue biffle bugs or rattling crawlers. That's a good day of fishing anywhere. But one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
That's a decent fish right there. Come in here. All right, that's a little better chunk right there. Well, one more, Canyon Lake bass. We've had a really good day today. Caught a lot of bass, nothing real huge, just a lot of mostly male fish moving up here first to spawn. I guess the females are coming. Hey, before we go to the next break, I want to mention that we've got a great sweepstakes going on our Facebook page right now. That fish goes back. We are giving away an extremely limited edition Stren tournament fishing jersey, just like the one the touring pros wear and the one I wear here on the show. These are few and far between. You can't buy these anywhere. And we're giving away one along with a bunch of Stren fishing lines, some fluorocast, an original and 100% fluoro, some sonic braid, and some Stren fishing hats as well. It's all on our Facebook page. Go to our website, click on the Facebook logo, or go straight to facebook.com/Southwest Outdoors Report. Click the like button first. You have to do that. And then you can fill out the form and enter. And you might win some great Stren gear. Brand new limited edition Stren tournament fishing jersey.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Bass Boats, pure performance.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time now for our Whataburger Ask the Pro question. This week we hear from Al in Louisiana, who wants to know, what knot would you recommend for pitching heavy cover? For the answer, let's check with Bassmaster Elite Angler Terry Scroggins.
Well, when you're pitching heavy cover, you can either use braid or you can use fluorocarbon or monofilament. So with monofilament, I just tie a Palomar knot. With fluorocarbon, I tie the cinch knot. And with braid, I tie a uni knot. So there's 3 different knots for 3 different lines.
Thanks, Terry. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Click on the Ask the Pro link and send us your information. Now let's get you back to Barry for our Costa Catch of the Week.
Hey, this week's winner is Jenny Henriksen. She's from the Woodlands, Texas, and she's proudly showing off her 27-inch redfish she caught at Aransas Bay at Rockport, Texas, and she will win a brand new pair of her choice of Costa sunglasses. Now, if you'd like to enter the contest, go to our front page at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Right-hand side of the page is the Costa Catch of the Week area. Click there. You'll need to join to become a member if you're not already, and it's always free. You can fill out the form and you could win your own pair of Costas. And if you want to see the entire line, go to their website by going to their logo, the Costa logo, right on the front page of our website. You'll see the entire line of Costa sunglasses, frames, and lens styles, including this month's Frame Style of the Month, double haul in the camo color, just like the pair that I've been wearing on this week's show. Next up, it's the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, and let's show you all the baits that will catch fish when the bass are actively feeding up in the pre-spawn time of the year, like we've talked about on this week's show. Beginning on your left, it's the Texas rigged Gene LaRue Who Daddy, followed by a jig head finesse worm, a Strike King KVD jerkbait, we caught several fish on that, a soft plastic jerkbait, and a Strike King KVD spinnerbait. This week on Stuff That Matters, I get the biggest kick the last few weeks watching those folks in New York State arguing over the new law to ban sugary soft drinks in sizes larger than 16 ounces. It's gone back and forth. No matter who wins that argument, the fact remains that the obesity epidemic in America is spiraling completely out of control. It's taxing our healthcare system. It's filling up doctors' offices and hospitals with patients with everything from diabetes to heart problems and all kinds of other maladies. And it's robbing lots of folks of their families and loved ones. So I'm asking you to do what I began to do about 3 years ago. I gave up sugary soft drinks. I cut back on the amount of high-calorie fast food that I shoved down. I started walking and jogging and riding my bicycle, dropped a few pounds, and immediately began to feel much better. And I'm 3 years into that process right now. The good thing about it is it just begins with one small step. And I'm asking you to join me in taking that step to a healthier, better lifestyle. Your kids are watching you, and our next generation will be much better off for it. Here's a little special news bulletin that next Thursday night, our show will be at a special time, 8 p.m., right before the Texas Rangers baseball game. And if you live in Oklahoma, at 8:30 p.m. before the Oklahoma City Thunder game. The show will re-air Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. Always set your DVR for the Saturday morning airing if you're DVRing it, because that episode never changes. The last episode of our show can always be found on the front page of our website in full HD, where you can also click through to the YouTube channel and get past episodes, and you can see more news, videos, and photos that you'll never find here on the TV show on our Facebook page. Just click on the Facebook logo at the top, the front page of our website. Hey, that's this week's episode from Canyon Lake down in South Texas, just a little west of New Braunfels, Texas. We wound up catching lots of bass today, largemouth and smallmouth, and hopefully we passed along some good information for you on the pre-spawn coming to a lake, river, or stream near you. Thanks for joining us. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.